So in a big move today, the centre has written to the UPSC to cancel the lateral entry advertisement that was issued a few days back to fill up 45 posts in the government. The centre, Jitender Singh, the minister in charge of DOPT, has written to the UPSC chairman saying that advertisement should be cancelled, and this is happening at the instance of directly Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who believes that the lacuna in the present scheme, which does not feature reservation, that lacuna should be removed. And what government sources are now telling us that in some days, the centre, in fact, through the UPSC, will come out with a fresh advertisement reflecting the reservation formula in these lateral entries as well, something that has come under fire from not just the opposition parties, the Congress, but also two of the allies of the NDA government, the JDU and the LJP, who both have gone on record and said that they are against any such lateral entry being done without the factor of recruitment and the reservations not being a part of such recruitment. Now let's go into a bit into the history of why this government decision has come. If you look at the current narrative in the country, the political discourse, especially in the Lok Sabha elections, has all been about caste. So the moment this advertisement from the UPSC came out a few days back saying that the government is looking for 45 more entrants through lateral entry into the government, all hell broke loose because the Congress was the first to flag that look, this particular lateral entry process does not have the reservation criteria. It does not follow the 50% plus 10% EWS reservation criteria. SC, STs, OBCs will not get reservation under this particular lateral entry. So the Congress said they are objecting to it. Most opposition parties, be it the RJD or the other regional opposition parties, the Samajwadi Party, in fact, even threatened an agitation from October 2nd on this particular issue. Join hands. The opposition was united on this, that the lateral entry must have reservation. And yesterday, on Monday, we had LJP's Chirag Paswan as well as JDU's KC Tyagi also come out. These are two key NDA allies also come out and say, look, we are not in agreement with the government's lateral entry formula, which does not include reservation. This should be reviewed. So today what we have a letter from Mr. Jitender Singh, the DOPT minister. I have the letter here in my hand, was written to the UPSC chairman saying that the Prime Minister has asked for a review of the scheme to bring it in line with the reservation principle. So far, the lateral entry scheme does not follow the reservation formula. The UPA government had first proposed lateral entry in 2005, but it was the Modi government which in 2018 started lateral entry through an institutionalized process through the UPSC, but there was no reservation formula in that particular process. The centre used to say that these are single cadre post specialized jobs. This letter is also mentioning it, but the Prime Minister has now said that this aspect needs to be reviewed and reformed in the context of the Prime Minister's focus on ensuring social justice. The letter also says that the Prime Minister is of the firm belief that the process of lateral entry must be aligned with the principles of equity and social justice enshrined in the Constitution, and particularly concerning the provisions of reservation. This is the letter written by DOPT Minister Jitender Singh to UPSC Chairman Preeti Sudan, from where I'm quoting for. Now, the opposition parties, as I explained, the Congress, the JD, the allies, two allies of the NDA, have been taking on the government of not having a reservation in the particular lateral entry principle that has been followed. Now, what the government here is saying that, look, under the UPA tenure, the lateral entries which featured then were completely ad hoc. This government at least institutionalized the process in 2018 to get it done through the UPSC in a transparent manner. The government is saying that look at the UPA policy. Sources I spoke to are saying that the lateral entries during the Congress era were also not consistent with the principles of social justice. They sidelined SC, STs, OBCs. They were totally opaque and done as per the whims and fancies of certain select leaders close to the family or to the Gandhi family or from the Gandhi family. So this government changed this. It brought in an institutionalized mechanism through the UPSC, but not now. What the government is trying to do is also remove this particular lacunae that these lateral entries do not follow the reservation principle. The Prime Minister is insisting that reservation must be included in the lateral entry process. That is the change that the government has brought about, cognizant of the realities that this country has, that there is a reservation system in place. Also, the government clearly saying it's an effort to ensure social justice. Just by first the government took one step of making it an institutionalized process, and now it is bringing in reservation also into it. Their government sources also clearly saying that Rahul Gandhi was just playing politics over it. He's not speaking for SC, STs, OBCs in the present lateral entry matter, or merely using them as a political tool. That's of course what government sources are now claiming. But of course, this is a step back by the government, and it follows a series of step backs in the present tenure of the NDA government, be it earlier the Waqf amendment bill going to a joint parliamentary committee after vociferous opposition in the parliament to that bill, and even key allies like the TDP and the LJP said that the bill should go to a standing committee. So that was also, in a way, the government relented on it and sent it to the JPC. A few days back, we had the broadcasting bill draft, which was earlier floated, in respect of digital broadcasters. That bill also, the draft was also withdrawn by the government after a lot of opposition was seen from the stakeholders. So the government has taken some steps back. Also, the opposition now say that this is the government which is dependent on the allies, especially the TDP, the JDU, the LJP. So obviously it's a coalition government. The government is realizing the compulsions of coalition politics, and that is why certain steps are being taken back. Even in the budget, we saw the government bringing in new provisions on the whole matter which had been brought about in the budget, which created a lot of long-term capital gains tax, the issue which created a lot of furor. The government had to take some steps to correct that as well. So that is what the opposition is buoyant about, that it is forcing the government to take back certain steps. But the government is very, very clear that, look, the Prime Minister directly intervened in this issue. He was of the opinion that social justice must be ensured in lateral entries also, and soon a new advertisement will come out through the UPSC in which the proportion of reservation will be ensured even in the lateral entries which are done. In fact, since 2018, 65 lateral entries have been done in government, out of which 57 people are still in active service. But the biggest lateral entry, which was supposed to be held of 45 posts at one go, now will come afresh from the UPSC with the reservation pie, the principle being in place.